If you have a previously saved project, you can load it by clicking on Open Site. This applies to projects created in NeXT System Builder, as well as in System Builder. If you want to open a project created in System Builder, you must first migrate it. During Site, Panels, Loops, Outputs and Devices migration, the user will be informed of any errors encountered during the migration process. Migration fails when a site, panel or loop contains invalid data, which cannot be processed. The migration is partially successful when a device type cannot be processed. The user receives an error message indicating which devices could not be processed during the migration. To create a new project, click on Create Site. By clicking on Properties, you can rename the project, give it a number, and add a description. By clicking on Brand, you can change or leave the predefined defaults, sales channel, alarm and standby time, and indicate whether devices already discontinued are to be used in the calculation. By clicking on Contact, you can add your contact details, including company name, address, contact person, their phone number and email address. By clicking on Summary, you can add the person responsible for the project, the date the project was created, and add comments. To add a panel, click Add Panel, or in the project pane, right-click and select Add Panel. The panel you selected in the default settings, in this case 2xAF2FBPRTP, will be added. To remove the panel from the project, click Remove Panel. To save the current project, click Save, or save as if you want to save the project under a different name. Pop-up message concerning project data saving will also appear when you click on the arrow, to be able to go back to the main window. Clicking on Report creates a report containing all the calculations. When you click on New Site again, based on the current calculation, the quiescent current, in milliamps, the alarm current, in milliamps, of the given panel, and the required battery capacity, in ampere hours, will be displayed below. If, for a given configuration, the currents and battery capacity do not exceed the maximum values, a green mark will appear here, otherwise a red mark will appear. A red mark usually indicates calculation errors. If you click on the given panel and then Properties, you will see the default panel settings defined in Settings. Here, at any time, you can change the series, type and model of the panel, and the protocol, but note that these changes may affect all calculations. If you click on Power Supply, you will see details of the power supply, and, based on the calculations, the necessary battery capacity that should be connected to the panel. If a panel with a 10 amps power supply is used for the calculation, it is possible to indicate that large batteries, above 12 ampere hours, are connected to the panel. Batteries with a capacity larger than 12 ampere hours should be installed outside the panel, in one of the external battery boxes, as indicated in the pictures. For panels with 10 amps power supply, due to the size of the power supply, batteries with a maximum capacity of 12 ampere hours can be installed inside the panel, as indicated in the pictures. A metal bracket is included for mounting the 12 ampere hours batteries inside the cabinet. By clicking on Pack, we can indicate that a high-power loop pack has been registered in the control panel, which will increase the loop current from 500 mA to 800 mA. By clicking on Options, we can select from a list of available modules those that will be physically installed in the control panel. The quiescent and alarm current of each loop, the current of the outputs of the given panel and the total current of the panel will be displayed below, based on the current calculations. If, for a given configuration, the currents of the loops and outputs do not exceed the maximum values, a green mark will appear here, otherwise a red mark will appear. A red mark usually indicates calculation errors. For example, the maximum loop current is exceeded, or the voltage drop is too high, which will be confirmed by a description of the error in the comments, and can also be displayed by clicking on Action Items, which will appear in the top right corner when errors are reported.